Welcome to 100% LCFC. My name's Phil. Thanks everybody who's been watching and following all the bits over the day. Thought I'd just do a quick live because we've not really resolved who we thought was the man of the match. We did a quick live video straight after the match outside the ground with Jamie, with Anthony, with Chappers, which was good. We got a completely mixed bag of answers as to who we thought was man of the match. Myself and Jamie both agreed we thought it was Mark Albrighton. Did you agree with that? Would you have given it to Albrighton? I thought he was Mr. Consistency. Hello to Simon. Simon Gimpson is watching. Hi Simon, who did you think was man of the match today if you managed to see the match? Good 3 points, very good 3 points overall, although speaking with my lad Sam on the way back and after we dropped Chappers off, and Sam was saying, I thought Morgan and Evans had a pretty decent game, but Sam said he thought maybe they were let off a bit lightly by Watford and perhaps a better team on a better day would have done a lot better. So let's know what you thought on Wes Morgan and Johnny Evans as well. Hi Tom, how are you? Sorry I missed you earlier, Tom. I had an absolute nightmare getting to the ground, parking. I got in to the game. Literally you could hear the trumpet playing on the outside of the ground as we were running down to the ground. The whistle just kicked off just as we sat down, so sorry to miss everybody. Andy Medhurst says, hi Phil, it was Mendy for me. It's fine, Andy. Mendy, I know that my Sam said he thought it was Mendy. Anthony thought it was Maddison. He gave it to Maddison pretty much based just on that goal, which was a pretty spectacular goal. I look forward to seeing that on Match of the Day shortly or later on tonight. Tom Hoger, Tom is saying Albrighton was his man of the match, agreeing with myself and Jamie. Will Brasher is saying it has to be Albrighton. That's interesting. Steve Yates is saying a season ticket holder but had to miss today's match. I hear it was the best performance of the season. Best performance of the season? It was decent. It was a more than decent performance. I think every player for Leicester had at least a 7 out of 10 match. If you were giving them a rating, I would think the team overall had at least a 7 out of 10, which was solid. Watford looked pretty decent to me. If they'd have only been able to finish some of their great counter-attacking play, we could have been in a real mess today. It could have been a very different result. So Julie Field, hi Julie, thanks for watching. If you can like and share this video, that'd be great. Julie Field says Albrighton for her. Lorraine Burrows is saying cracking game, Albrighton man of the match for me. Mr. Consistent, he always gets you a 7 out of 10 at least, maybe an 8, and perhaps today was an 8. Mike Jenner saying Mendy and Ndidi were great as a partnership. Looks better and better. Funnily enough, I was sitting, we were chatting during the match and I said, Mendy, isn't it amazing how Mendy were completely the forgotten man last season or so since when we signed him, done nothing, wasn't expecting anything. I remember we went to the Notts County pre-season match, I think if my memory's right, and he was in the team and we were like, oh, Mendy, yeah, sort of remember him, and he had a more than decent match. And we said then, maybe Mendy will do us, and I think he's been as good as signing a £20 million midfielder, if you ask me. And I think it was Jamie, a couple of the people after the match said that they thought that Ndidi hadn't had his best match. It was Chappers actually saying that. So, but I still thought he was decent. Emma saying her son says Mendy. Andrew Turlington says Soyuncu. Looked decent when he came on again. Dale saying Mark has to be man of the match. That boy can cross a great ball. Still shame he don't get more game time. Danielle Riley saying who stood out? Well, pretty much everybody stood out, Daniel. In particular, people are talking about Ricardo. Chappers said he thought Ricardo didn't put a foot wrong. So I think that was interesting. Chris is saying here, interesting to hear Puel mention post-match about 3 at the back as an option for the future. I didn't hear his post-match, to be fair, Chris, because we were still walking back to the cars. But again, we did say, you're right, we said that last 10, 15 minutes, this 3 at the back looks nice. And that was what I thought in pre-season. I thought we bought a load of centre-backs and Ricardo so that we could play 3 at the back. So Phil Creed is saying Vardy was his man of the match, terrorised them. I thought Vardy was all right. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Fair shout. Maddison for that goal alone, says John Flood. You're agreeing with Anthony from 100% who said exactly that. You score a goal that good, you get man of the match. I looked a little bit more for the overall consistency, if I'm honest with you. Andy Medhurst saying, what a fantastic gesture it was for our owners to give free food and drinks to the Watford fans. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the live video straight after the match, but a Watford fan came straight over to us and said, look guys, I just want to tell you, well played to everybody at Leicester. We got free drink, free food at half time, but fair play to the Watford fans who put their hands in their pocket to get that sign up. I actually missed it, I'm afraid. I was really annoyed because we were late getting to the game, but I've seen photos of it. That's brilliant, isn't it? A load of away fans putting their hands in the pockets and raising over £1,000, get a poster made, and I think they've donated some money into the Vichai charity fund. So well played to Watford. And you know, a lot of people wouldn't have seen it, but Troy Deeney at half time, I didn't see it, my lad saw it, said Troy Deeney took off one of his training tops and went over to somebody in the crowd at the Leicester end and gave his training top away. Again, I don't know what it is about Troy Deeney, but if you ask me, most Leicester fans really like Troy Deeney. He seems exactly the sort of player we'd love to have at Leicester. It just seems a really nice guy, and I know he scored that, you know, the goal against us back in the semi-final that we're all glad we lost, to be fair. But there is something about Troy Deeney that I think Leicester fans would like him. Anthony Lindo says, good Leicester, well done, 2-0. Andrew Turlington is saying the important thing is that we are unbeaten in 4 or 5 games, question mark. I don't know what the latest in the Southampton Man U game was. It was 2-0 to Southampton. I know the last I heard it was 2-2 and getting quite exciting. Jamie Preston, yeah, Albright man of the match. He's saying, Jamie, don't forget, watch Jamie tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. UK time. He's going to be in rainy old Leicester somewhere doing his live Foxes Aftermath show. So that's Jamie from the Fox's Arms at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tom is saying massive thanks to all the Watford fans today. Yeah, I think that was brilliant. Fair play to them. Chris Ward is saying he'd give it to Mendy. That's man of the match. Chris Allen is saying, anyone seen the Pule Out crowd anywhere tonight? No, Chris, we won't see them. And that's good because, again, the chat of the fans, I don't know anybody down at the match who actually even talks about Pule Out because nobody does. I haven't had that conversation once at the football. So we're just not going to have that conversation. Gareth Edwards saying Ricardo was his man of the match. Colt Stevenson. Colt, what a great name. Colt is saying Mendy man of the match. Chris Ward is saying fantastic from the Watford and fantastic supporters. Fair play. Phil Sykes is going for Mendy as man of the match, but a great team performance. Mike Jenner is saying, I'm glad to admit I was wrong and impressed by Wes, but I still think we have better defenders to see. Yeah, Benkovic, great talk of him up at Celtic. Sonyunku looked decent when he came on. Justin Rose is saying, yay, the camera's the right way round. I know. Hey, don't blame me. That wasn't my phone earlier. That wasn't my camera. I blame Anthony for having set that one up. But bless him, thank you. It's my fault as well. I forgot the microphone. I forgot this. Disorganised today. Do you know why? I don't tell anybody, but I'll tell you why we were late. We're putting Christmas decorations up. It's a bit early, isn't it? December the 1st, or have you got your decorations up? My kids insisted we get them up today. So we were doing that, and I was like, we're going to be late for the match. And we were. They won't listen, will they, kids? They're in charge. Julie Field saying still 2-2. Thank you for that, Julie and Chris Ward, for letting us know the latest scores. If Southampton beat Man U, we're 7th. Come on. Who on earth can be talking about where's the Pule Out crowd? Leicester are 7th. We're in the quarter-final of the League Cup. We've got the FA Cup to come. It doesn't get much better, does it? Anthony Bolton is saying he'd give it to Vardy. Created the penalty. He did create that penalty. It was right in front of where we sit in the family stand. He bought the penalty, I think you'll say. But Foster sort of was complaining. But it was a clear-cut penalty. But boy, oh boy, did Vardy know what he was doing. Reminds me of my old footballing mate, Jimmy Noon. Probably not watching this, Jimmy Noon. He used to be able to buy a penalty every time he went in the box. And Jamie Vardy has definitely learnt it from Nooney. Gene Rees is saying Albrighton was my man of the match by a fraction because all the lads played extremely well. And they did. I think, Gene, that's exactly right. I think they all did play really well. I think it was a 7 or an 8 out of 10 performance. Watford let us off the hook. They had chances. They had plenty of chances. I think we only had 38% of the possession. So it was a bit more counter-attacking today, which is probably why we all enjoyed it a bit more. It was a bit more like Leicester that we think we know, which is that suck them in and then play on the break. Perhaps it suited us that Watford were playing counter-attacking and fast football as well. Boy, did they break quickly. I think we had a corner at... I'm going to come to you, Tom, in a minute. They had a corner in the second half. No, sorry, in the first half. We had a corner. And I think we did a short corner. I think it went to Chilwell. Anyway, we lost the ball there and then, and they were down. They had a chance within about 6 seconds of us taking the corner. Tom Hoger is saying, by the way, you should listen to me. I got the team line spot on. You did, Tom. You did. I think, we did the tactics this morning, all of us, in that new video that we're going to do before every match. I think me and the fans, we picked 10 out the 11 starting players. But I put in, I'll blame me. I put in Okazaki because I was thinking, what do I know? This shows you I know nothing. Because I said, let's leave Maddison on the bench, teach him a lesson for last week's naughtiness. I'm quite glad we didn't leave Maddison on the bench because in the first half he scored that wonder goal. Best goal you've seen at Leicester for a long time, I would say. A little while. What was the next best goal since that? But Tom, to be fair to Tom, came in on that video and he said, no, I'll put Maddison in there. So, Tom, you get your tactics right. Andy Medhurst is saying Nacho needs to work on his first touch. Yeah, his first touch at times for Nacho, his first touch sometimes is going to fetch it from 20 yards away, isn't it? Daz Eden's watching. How are you, Daz? Hope you're well. Vardy v Liverpool is saying Tom Hogan. Yeah, I guess you're probably right. I want to see Maddison's goal again because the initial reaction was it was amazing. So looking forward to seeing how it looks in slow motion from all those angles on Match of the Day. Probably worth watching Match of the Day alone to watch that. Again, I said, turned up as soon as he scored it and said that's got to be goal of the month on Match of the Day, if not more. Carol Stokes is saying she would give it to Albrighton. I think generally more and more people are saying Albrighton. We've run a poll on Twitter to see who was man of the match, and to be fair, it's very close, but Albrighton is in third place, just behind Maddison and Mendy. So on Facebook, it seems like most of you guys are agreeing with me slightly that it was Albrighton. But fair play, I wouldn't have any arguments with people saying I'd give it to Maddison just for that goal or give it to Mendy for an overall great performance. How good has he been? Last couple of comments before we go, and as ever, I know I'm going to guess somebody has won the Peter's Pizzas video. Peter's Pizzas don't do videos. They do pizzas. Somebody will have won that. I need to check through it. I'm sure more than one person has got Vardy and 2-0 to Leicester. Last couple of comments. Aaron Sherwin saying, great first half, shut them down second. Good Premier League performance. Excellent. Jean Rees is saying Vardy's goal against Liverpool is my favourite goal. I think Jean, I'm guessing it is a she. Daz Eden is saying, okay, Phil, good atmosphere today. Even better towards the end of the match. Yes, it was. There was a few quiet patches, Daz, wasn't there, in the game at times, I thought, but certainly the last 20, 25 minutes, when we were under the cosh a little bit, the fans got behind, and it was a good atmosphere. It was good. It was getting back again. Andrew Turlington, hi Andrew, thanks for watching, says Albrighton should be one of the first names on the team sheet. I say it every week, Andrew. I would mark Albrighton. For me, if you can, today's a great point. If you can, in the Premier League, if every player scores 7 out of 10, you're probably going to win and you're probably going to do all right. And Albrighton guarantees you. I've never seen Mark Albrighton have an under 7 out of 10 performance. And quite often he's an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Rarely a 10. Not being funny, I don't think Mark Albrighton's often a 10 out of 10 where you go, wow, he's beyond doubt the star man. But I thought today he just gave a really, really solid performance. So that's why I would give it to him. Andy Meadows is saying Tyson or Wilder. Do you know what, Andy? I was going to watch that tonight. I thought, I'll stay up late, 11:30. I've just found out it's a 4 a.m. kickoff in that boxing match. You've got to be kidding me. I'm not staying up till then. You might as well maybe go to bed. I think Tyson's going to win it. I'd prefer him to win it anyway. What do you think, Andy? Who do you think is going to win it? So that's, I think, about the final comment. We're finishing on a boxing thing. Keep your eyes open for the Pete's thing. Don't forget, Jamie, Fox's Arms, The Foxes Aftermath show right here on 100% LCFC is at 10 AM UK time tomorrow morning. We'll do the Fanzone show 8:30 on Monday night. Obviously there's the away match on Wednesday at Fulham, so we'll see you guys down there. If you can like and share this video, that would help. Will Holloway, I got a ticket for you today, Will, and you didn't come. You missed it. Free ticket to my little brother Willie, and he didn't come to the match. I'll see you, Tom, on Monday night. Hopefully Tom will be joining us live. Thanks everybody who's been watching, especially Will Holloway, who never watches his big brother do this. I'll see you later. Keep it 100% LCFC. Cheers.